Hey guys, I'm filming this super late and I'm gonna try to just be as concise as possible. So I'm gonna show how coded this event was. It was super ridiculously coded, and I know these guys don't know how coded it was, so it'll be the first time for them if they're watching, and then for you guys if you watched it, like you guys are gonna I'm gonna show you guys, and I'm not saying it was coded in a bad way, like it's not anything like that. I'm showing that like we really have no idea how God is using us, and I'm showing like God used these guys for this perfect alignment. It has everything to do with the alignment with I talked about in my last video that I learned about from Casey and 7-1, and Rambo's talked about it too. Venus moved into Pegasus, the constellation, on March 22nd, 2025. And on that same day, it was the start of the 33rd Venus pentagram since the Revelation 12 sign that 7-1 discovered, which happened June 3rd, 1769. So remember, Revelation 12 sign was about the woman of the apocalypse, which was a Venus transit. So it was the start of the 33rd Venus pentagram since that sign. So we're gonna talk about Sirius, we're gonna talk about Venus, bridges. This whole thing's gonna be about bridges. Okay, so let me just get into what I'm talking about with this. So this was I was the bridge. I was the bridge of this. Okay, I know they didn't really mention it like too much, but I was like, I was the bridge. Okay, let me explain like the backstory. So I introduced Cody and AJ like 10 months ago, maybe, like through my live streams, and they've both been like, I've been so close with them. They've both been my brothers, and they've been like two different worlds of mine, because AJ has always been on Instagram, and I do have an Instagram, and he's never had a YouTube. He was never even active on YouTube. And obviously, if you're watching this, you know that I'm active with the community here on YouTube with Cody and all that. So in that whole amount of time, like they've met, but they've never been in contact ever. And so on March 22nd, the day of that alignment, I created that bridge because AJ, he asked for Cody's contact. I give him his Discord, Cody's Discord. And what was funny was that when I did this, I was in San Diego. Like I told you guys, I was gonna go to San Diego, and how that day, and every time I go to San Diego, some crazy synchronicity happens, because Sean Desaad, SD, and like has to do it's always connected to my father because the San Diego Padres, so many other things, but like, yeah, it's just fun. It's perfect how I was there when this all happened. But so AJ asked, I gave it to him, and then I find out in the morning through Cody's community that they were planning this huge out of nowhere, they're planning this huge roundtable. I was surprised. I was like, what the heck? So it was interesting because I was like, yeah, I wasn't included in it, but I was like, I knew the whole time. I was like, it's crazy because I was the bridge for that. I mean, AJ, Joey, and Rambo they've been friends for a while. Like they've had their own thing. They've done a bunch of live streams and stuff. But I'm the reason why they did it on Cody's. Like I'm the reason why this all happened. Like specifically because of that. Just from that little act of me giving AJ Cody's, and then they did everything from there. So I knew that I was there in spirit holding that together. I wasn't there, but I was there in spirit. Okay, so maybe you can see where I'm getting at, because it was the 33rd, the start of the 33rd Venus pentagram. Okay, the 33rd, Jesus Christ, the bridge. Jesus Christ is the bridge to the Father. And it's just more significant because when he died, physically he wasn't there. He ascended, and just think. So okay, the Roundtable aspect was this is what really made me make this connection, because the Roundtable and how I made that happen on the start of the 33rd pentagram. So think about this connection with Jesus and King Arthur. Jesus and the 12 disciples. He was the one that was holding them together. And then King Arthur and the 12 knights. He's not included as one of the 12 knights, but he was holding it together. And as you can see in both of these images, neither of them are there. The 12 disciples, but Jesus isn't there, but he's one there. He is there in spirit. And King Arthur is holding them all together too. So I knew for sure, like because if this specific event, with it happening around this alignment, this astrological alignment, like it is super coded to me playing this Jesus, like Christ archetype. I'm not saying that I'm him. Okay, what I'm saying in terms of Rambo, if you've seen his stuff, you know that he's all about archetypes, and these people playing these archetypes, like they're playing these roles. So what was going on is that I was that to this, and that's why me not being part of it it added on to that symbolism, because there's no way that this would, like, I was there in spirit, because they would not have known each other without me, like Cody and AJ, because Joey, AJ, and Rambo could have just done more live streams on Instagram. So this one specifically was I was the catalyst for that. Okay, so I was the bridge. And we're gonna be talking about bridges and Sirius, and we'll circle back to this. Okay, like you'll see as we go, but this is gonna be one of the craziest. This is just one of the craziest things. Like, it just really shows like do we really have free will? Because I don't think that they did this on purpose, and I don't think they knew about. There's no way they knew about all these connections I'm gonna share, because they're freaking profound and they're insane. But it just, the way that this lined up was just chef's kiss from God. I know it's God using us to fulfill these roles, and he did a great job of putting us together like this. So all right, so we're gonna be talking about Buraq and Buraq. We're gonna be talking about this because, like I said, and all thanks to Casey Jones. I would not be able to put this together without him. And he was like mentioning this connection with Barack Obama and Buraq, the winged horse. So this is in Muslim mythology, I guess. And so this was the winged horse that flew Muhammad through the heavens. I believe that's what it was. But yeah, so Buraq is compared to Pegasus, because of the winged horse. And we're going to be showing I'm going to show the connection right now to Sirius and Buraq. Right now I'm just sharing like some background stuff, foundational things that are going to, it'll be necessary for the rest of the video. So let's just establish this connection with Sirius and Buraq. All right, so Sirius, the brightest star, bright, lit, glowing, scorching, Okay, so there's definitely this, yeah, glowing and scorching, and Buraq. Where should we start? So to beam, flash, gleam, glimmer, glisten, glitter, radiate, shimmer, shine. Okay, shine, and also Venus is known for shining. So um, so there's a whole thing with all three of them: Sirius, Buraq, and Venus. So it's perfect that all this is like lining up around all three of those things. So now I'm gonna lay some foundation for Sirius's connections to like bridges and middle stuff like that. So okay, so Sirius in the sky, Sirius is fixed at the 104th degree of the ecliptic, and when you look at this, okay, so Cancer, the middle of Cancer is 105 degrees of the ecliptic, so that's right next to 104, and that's why this, again, I learned from Casey, like it's just so perfect because like, Cancer, this is Cancer. So when you think about it, like Sirius would be like basically right here, and this is the capstone, the bridge of the capstone, So this Sirius being at the 104, it's super tied to the arch. And he also sent me this a long time ago. Sirius is located between the twins of Gemini. Right, you see like you go along here, this is Sirius, and you go straight up, and these are the two twins of Gemini. So that's pretty epic, like right in between the two twins. Sounds, like we're gonna get into the next slide. All right, so Sirius in Greek equals 595, and the 595th chapter of the whole Bible is the very middle chapter. I meant to put chapter, but yeah, the 595th chapter of the Bible is the very middle chapter of the Bible, which is, it starts with Psalms 1171. Let me read this first and I'll go to the next slide. But also, okay, so just to add on to that middle stuff and the twins, like I showed you, with the twins, Sirius being right between the twins. So Osama, he turned 595 sidereal months on 9/11, and not only that, but the dog who died, the only dog who died on 9/11, his name was Sirius. So there's something so huge about 9/11 with Sirius that the ordinary person has no idea about, and a lot of decoders don't either. Like, I think you definitely have to be part of this community to know how Sirius is tied to 9/11. But yeah, I mean, this is just so spot on. Osama turned 595 sidereal months on 9/11. The only dog who died on 9/11 name was Sirius, which equals 595. That's just, it's unreal, And then, so again, going back to this, so the middle chapter of the Bible is actually 2 verses. So we can look at it like the whole chapter would be Psalms 117, but you can also say that Psalms 117:1 it starts the middle chapter of the Bible. But yeah, just remember this. Remember Psalms 117. Okay, it's gonna be really important. So this is when things really started to click, and then everything just like unraveled from here in a crazy way. But I found out that from Obama's inauguration to the Venus pentagram, the start of the 33rd Venus pentagram and Venus moving into Pegasus, it was 5905 days, just like the 595 we looked at. And what's even crazier, so when you turn this into the date 595 to that same date, all right, this is going to tie to the Bible. It's 11995% of a common year. Okay, so let's look at it here. So that is the total amount of words in Revelation. 11995, the total amount of words in Revelation. And from 59052, that date, that same one, the day that I made that act of, like bridging, AJ and Cody, and then leading to that live stream. It's 11995% of a common year. That's the total words in Revelation. The total words in Revelation. And so I learned this from Lambda. See, like he did in this video here, and he shows what 11995 words in Revelation. So he copy pasted the whole book of Revelation. So that's insane. That's freaking crazy, dude. And now we're gonna turn this into the date. So from 11995 to that same day, 33rd Venus pentagram and Venus going into Pegasus. But of this year, 18, it's 13026% of a common year. And you see right here it's blown up. 13026% of a common year. Sean Ricardo Desaad, the widow's son, equals 1326. Okay, so the widow's son aspect is perfect because Hiram Abiff is the widow's son. Rambo's done a bunch of work on Hiram Abiff, and like Freemasonry. You guys know how tied 33 is to Freemasonry, and the widow's son being a free, like I said, Hiram Abiff, and that's the chief architect of Solomon's temple, which we're going to talk about a lot more soon. But I mean, this is just freaking insane right here. Also, the fact that on my 33rd birthday, the only game that was playing on my 33rd birthday was this game, the Saints and the Chiefs, and the score ended 13-26. What are the freaking odds of that, guys? Like, what are the freaking odds that the only game that was playing on my 33rd birthday ended 13-26, and Sean Ricardo Desaad, the widow's son, equals 1326, and the Chiefs, right? The chief architect, right? Hiram Abiff, aka the widow's son, is the chief architect and the master of works for King Solomon's temple. Okay, so that's where I got the name from, and also because my life is it has everything to do with, like, my dad, and but I mean, I'm pretty sure that I am the widow's son. Like, I'm 100% sure. I haven't seen a better candidate. But again, what are the freaking odds the Chiefs they win against the Saints, like 13-26? And I guess he can kind of think, like, I know that there's like I think some people think that this person is gonna have to do with, or like, I'm not gonna go there anyways. Let's move on. Alright, so from 11995, remember this represents the total amount of words in Revelation. So from 11995 to the Dekoders Roundtable is 1122 days, or 11022 days. Sean Desaad, chief architect, is 1122. Like, but okay, this is just where things get crazy. Like, what are the freaking odds of this? Okay, like the stuff that I showed you with Obama, right? And then this, and Buraq, Pegasus, all this has to do with, like, the two dates that are significant are, because it was when that alignment happened on March 22nd, when Venus moved into Pegasus, and it was the start of the 33rd Venus pentagram since the Revelation 12 sign. That was the day that I bridged that I bridged Cody and AJ, and then that this round table manifested from it. So think about that, okay? So what are the freaking odds that this span would be the same span as from Obama's birth to my birth? See, that's why it's so perfect that they lined it up like that, how they did, and so quick too, like so quick. Like it was just I was thrown off by it, but like they did it on the perfect day. They did it on the perfect day to line up with this, what I showed. In case you forgot the connection I made with this, it goes back to this, because 11995 to the penta, to the alignment, the day that I gave AJ Cody's contact and became the bridge, the catalyst for the round table. 1326% of a common year. And that also happens, and then yeah, so like, okay, what are the odds that 11995 to the Dekoders round table is the same amount of time as from Obama's birth to my birth? And Sean Desad, Chief Architect, is 1122. What are the freaking odds? What are the odds of that? I know they didn't do that on purpose. I know they didn't. But I feel like that should like really open their eyes as to like whoa, like how the heck did we make that happen? It's God, you know, it's God. It's not men in black robes in a room with a supercomputer like some people swear. Like shit cracks me up, but that's, dude, I don't even know what to say, man. I don't, about this. And the fact that Obama was freaking from his inauguration to that day was 5905 days, and all that stuff I was showing you about Sirius with the middle symbolism, and the very middle of the Bible is the 595th chapter, and again I was the bridge. Like it's I know you guys see where I'm coming from, and I don't know if you know how crazy it is exactly, but like if you did, I want you guys to know how freaking insane this all is. But let's keep going, because I have a lot more. So also adding on to all this stuff with, you know, the 11995, the words in Revelation. So what are the odds after all that I shared that I was 1201 days old on, that was the same day as this, or yeah, this. So the day that so on this day I was 1201 days old, just like Revelation 12:1. Like look up, that just is perfect. And so this is the Revelation 12 sign. This is the Revelation 12 sign that 7-1 discovered, and this is and so she's the woman of the apocalypse. Like you'll see, I'm gonna show in I have Wikipedia that they showed, you know, she is the woman of the apocalypse. That's what this is representing. And this was a Venus transit followed by a solar eclipse. So this was a Revelation 12 sign, and this whole alignment is the 33rd, the start of the 33rd pentagram since this sign, which was on June 3rd, 1769. So yeah, it happened to be 1201 days on 11995, and then from that day to the round table is this. So it's just beautiful, divine, God, beyond synchronicity. It's just I'm downplaying it right now because I'm like really tired. But this is freaking like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen anything crazier than like everything I've shared thus far and what I still have to share. I truly have never, like, I knew the synchronicities were just gonna keep getting stronger and stronger, and sure enough. So now, what are the sheer odds that so Rambo, the truth codes, I think it goes without saying that like he truly was like the star. I mean, obviously everyone there is amazing, but yeah, it's pretty obvious, Rambo's the main event pretty much, and so what are the sheer odds that his name, after all that stuff I just shared, his name equals it, what he goes by on his Patreon, the truth codes, is 753. The 753rd prime is 5717, and the prime factorization of 595 is 5 times 7 times 17. So that's just on the money. That's on the money. That's perfect. That's perfect. Like, I just wonder what he would think. If he, I wonder. I know that this dude, like, this is on another level, man, for real. But just to further emphasize how, wait, that one, okay, so look at this, the 5717. I'm gonna turn that into the date, 5717, like this. Okay, so when you go from 5717, like this, right, 5717 to my 33rd birthday, the one where I showed that NFL game, it was 2710 days. The widow's son, Sean Ricardo Desaud, is 2710. Like, come on, like, dude, it's out of this world. This is out of this world. This is out of this world. So perfect that his name equals 753. Like, to just add on to all this 595 bridge, middle, me being the bridge, like, it's just and this keeps going, dude. It's like, it's so over. It's just unbelievable. Let's just keep going. Let's just get through this. This is something that I discovered. Something huge, a huge realization about, or discovery, whatever, about the connection to this 595 number in 9/11, and I've never seen this before. So, I believe that this is spot on. Okay, so 9/11 to 5717 is 5717 days. Like, that's like, there's no way that it is a coincidence. Like, it means nothing that from 9/11 to 5717 is 5717 days. That's the prime factorization of 595, and Osama bin Laden turned 595 sidereal months on 9/11. There's no, like, that is just proof. Like, I could literally show that to the freaking government, or, like, I don't know, like the new somewhere. Like, that's just proof. Like, that is proof right there. That's absolute proof that there's something to this code right here, like, for sure. Like, so just really, it's so interesting, that the truth codes, his name equals 753. I don't believe I've seen a 753 in Latin, but I think that also cracks the case of where this comes from. The 753 in the beginning of Back to the Future, because the huge line from Back to the Future, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some Sirius-ish. I think it has everything to do with this. I'm almost 100% sure. Let's keep going. All right, so on 5717, my birth to 5717, I was 307 months exactly. And Woman of the Apocalypse is 307. Like that's and just to add on, like what are the sheer odds that from my birth to 5/7/17 is this same amount as from my dad's death to the day that Venus goes into Pegasus and the start of the 33rd Venus pentagram since the woman of the apocalypse sign? What are the odds of that? What are the freaking odds of that? It's insane. So here's some huge connections to 307 and like everything I'm showing right now, you know, Freemasonry, again the 33rd pentagram, Freemasonry with the 33 degrees, Lodge 49, the show about the guy named Sean Dudley who loses his dad and he joins a Masonic lodge, and what I already showed you with the Revelation 12 sign and Woman of the Apocalypse. So, alright, I've showed this a long time ago. This is, so I'm gonna use this to lay the framework, and then, this day right here, June 24th, 2024, that was the day that I turned the exact same age that my dad was when I was born. Okay? So we kind of like, we kind of like, our timelines met up. So, alright, what was crazy about that was that was the 307th anniversary of Freemasonry, and also 307 weeks after the first episode of Lodge 49. So there's like that, this day was like in the making for a long time, and it was just perfect, you know, like that it was that day, the day that I turned the same age that my dad was when I was born. You know, perfect. And now think about the how the 49 ties into all the stuff with the Venus pentagram, because of the magic square of Venus is a 7x7 grid, all the numbers between 1 and 49, just like Lodge 49. All right. So here, this is where you'll see that she is referred to as the woman of the apocalypse, also the woman clothed with the sun. Woman clothed with the sun equals 893. Okay, so watch this. So from 5/7/17 to my birth is 893 months. You gotta be freaking kidding me. You have to be freaking kidding me. That is like after everything, after everything. I could have stopped the video a long time ago. And okay, so this is how it's even like there's many layers to this, because this is of the year 1917, but father son Sean Ricardo de Sade equals 1917. So that makes this a million times crazier, and my dad's full name equals 893. Ricardo Idrisi de Sade equals 893. So 2 million times crazier. Like, it's just, we have to keep going because I have so much more, but like, look at just like it's unbelievable. Like 893 months on the nose. Women clothed with the sun. And from 5/7/17 to the first episode of Lodge 49 is 457 days. Sean de Sade, the bridge, is 457 in Latin. And it's funny because a lot of this kind of like, I think it had to do with AJ and Rambo when they went on Donuts live stream, and then from there, that's when Cody did the response and he shouted them out. And I told AJ didn't even know until I told him. I was like, oh dude, Cody gave you a shout out on his live, and you should check out his live. He's telling people to follow you, and so that's kind of when things really kind of started, when I started I guess connecting them a little bit more. But I only put this here, okay, because like I said, I'm not saying that I am that. I'm saying that I am that, the archetype. I'm fulfilling this archetype, the in the Roundtable. Like that's what I was, you know. So it's just perfect that it lines up even more. And then, like I said, it had regarding the 33rd pentagram, 33. Jesus died at 33. Like all it's just all perfect. Let's just move on. Okay, and so from my birth to the first episode of Lodge 49, exactly 1400 weeks, chief architect of Solomon's Temple, and Sirius, the bridge, dog star, are 1400 in the same cipher, on the nose. So like this thing with Sirius being the bridge is not a friggin' joke. It's not. Sirius, the bridge, dog star. Like I know, like you don't normally see that, but that's what we're talking about. And I've been showing how like this whole like Sirius theme is all about the bridge and the connection, and it's like I'm totally on point with it. And then the chief architect of Solomon's Temple is me, the widow's son. And again, like this is about Freemasonry, the show. Alright, so the first, if you go and type in just like, so literally the first thing when you type in Obama bridge, you'll see this is the first thing. Alright, so that's what this is. Alright, so what are the odds after what I showed you? Alright, so first of all, let's just start here. The time is, I mean, it's just with the article, it's really interesting that they did it at 4:44 p.m. and Jesus is 4:44, right? But look at, this is like the first thing you see. The first thing you see, President Obama and the first family joined thousands of Americans in Selma, Alabama to honor the sacrifice and bravery of the men and women who bled. The sacrifice and who bled. Like, it's like, what are the freaking odds of that? What are the freaking odds of that, man? And it's the 50th anniversary, okay? And 50 is a huge number with Sirius too, because look, Sirius, a binary star system consisting of Sirius A and Sirius B, has a total orbital period of approximately 50 years, meaning two stars revolve around each other every 50 years. Like the 50th anniversary, and then this whole thing like symbolizing Jesus, the sacrifice of the men and women who bled. Like, what are the odds? That's the first thing that you see when you type in Obama bridge, you know. And then how I'm being this, like, I'm playing this, like, this Jesus archetype in this whole scenario with this, you know, the round table and the alignment with, like, what are the freaking odds of that? And everything I showed with Obama's connection to everything too, and then how everything has to do with like the bridge, like bridging the bridge, and like how the heck? And how the heck is it that, you know, the day that he did that was March 8th, 2015, and I was exactly 1,222 weeks old on that day, and 33rd pentagram equals 1222. Like, what are the freaking odds of that? What are the freaking odds? That's insane. Let's keep the madness going. Let's keep it going. But dude, there's nothing like, I've never seen anything like this. I haven't. I'm sorry. Okay, just let's take it slow. There's a lot of here. Just relax. Okay. So, from the bridge that I just showed you to the Venus going into Pegasus, started the 33rd pentagram. The day I was in San Diego when I bridged Cody and AJ, it was exactly 524 weeks. Okay, Freemasonry equals 524. Sean Ricardo Desaad equals 524. The prodigal son equals 524, and that's really interesting because they were talking about the return of the son in the video, right? And so I made a video about this. I'm going to show you I'll just like direct you to it. But I made a video about the prodigal son returning to the father back when on November 1st, 2024, when the Dodgers had the Dodger parade after winning the World Series. They won in New York and they returned home, and I made a video about it. I'll show you in a second. But then also, Sean Desad, the chief architect, and Ricardo Idrissi Desad equal 524 in Fibonacci in the same cipher. Like, what the heck? So from that bridge, this Obama bridge, I was telling you all about Obama and bridges and Sirius and all that. Like, from that to this is 524 weeks on the nose. Like, what the heck? All these 524s. Check it. Just look. You can't even deny it. Can't. Okay, so right here, prodigal son, Dodger parade, Pluto, back to the father, return to the father. All right, I made this on November 1st, 2024. So you can find it here. It's a really good video. So yeah, they were talking about. They weren't talking about the prodigal son, but they were talking about the return to the return of the son. Return of the son. That's what they were talking about specifically. But yeah, let's just elaborate on this. Okay, so again, I showed you that was on November 1st, 2024. So that was the first day of Lunation 1260. And Widow's son, Sean Desad, equals 1260. And that was Millennium Lunation 307. What the heck? So, that's just, if you're not sure what that is, that's the lunation since the millennium. So it was Lunation 1260, which is Widow's son, Sean Desad, equals 1260. And Millennium Lunation 307. Okay, we went over all the 307s, and that was the day, like, I made that video about the prodigal son, the son returning back to the father, the Dodger parade. He came back home and celebrated, like how the father, the prodigal son, he celebrated that his son came back home. So not only that, but that day was also the heliocentric Pluto return that we learned from Casey and 7-1 that same day. And it was that same day was Dia de los Muertos. Okay, so Pluto is a god of death and rebirth. Remember in the video, or in the Roundtable, they were talking about reincarnation and resurrection and death and rebirth. How perfect. That's why this is so perfect. That was 524 weeks from that bridge to that day, the alignment, the day that I bridged them. And the prodigal son is 524, like, and they're talking about, like, in the Roundtable that manifested after that was about, they were talking about the return of the son. Okay, so Pluto is a god of death and rebirth. And look, this is from the prodigal son. This is what he said. This is part of the prodigal son. For this my son was dead and is alive again. Death and rebirth. He was lost and is found, and they began to be merry. So death and like, this is part of the prodigal son. Like, this, like, the prodigal son is totally tied to that symbolism with the return of the son. Like, it totally is. And from that day that we just looked at, the start of Lunation 1260, Millennium Lunation 307, to the 33rd Venus pentagram and Venus going into Pegasus, 141 days. Widow's son is 141. Gosh, what the heck, man? What the heck? And Casey told me this too, and it just adds on to everything we just looked at. Obama turned 787 lunar months on the 33rd pentagram. He turned 707 lunar months on the 33rd pentagram, which is insane because Freemasonry is 787. Like, how was the start of the 33rd pentagram, and it's the 138th prime number, which is the 13:8 Venus-Earth ratio. Right, so the ratio of Venus's orbital period to Earth's orbital period, Venus orbits the sun 13 times for every 8 orbits of Earth, and that is what creates the Venus pentagram, the 13:8 ratio. So how, like, that, this is freaking on the money too. You know, thank you so much, Casey. I swear, like, none of this would be possible without you. I mean, for me to, because this adds on to like everything else that I've been finding, you know, perfectly. Like, it's like the perfect piece to the puzzle. And what's interesting is that, you know, in terms of, you know, me playing this archetype in that whole situation, 787 plus 138, so 138 plus its prime is 925, and Jesus Christ is 925. Like, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. All right, so we're gonna look at lunation, the start of lunation 1275, because Jesus Christ equals 1275, and it starts on January 18th, 2026. So you can see here, January 18th, 2026, start of lunation 1275. So from the Dekoders Roundtable to the start of lunation 1275 is 9 months and 25 days. That is why I'm saying, like I know they didn't plan it, like they did not realize like how perfect this was all. Like, they didn't know what they were doing, but it was perfect. It was perfect, you know, like God was really moving through them. I believe that's what I believe, that he was, like, they were being used by him to like put on this whole thing. Like, it's just it's a perfect puzzle. Like, it's perfect. Now we're gonna talk about this book, The Life and Rise of Barack Obama, The Bridge, which came out April 6, 2010, or published. And from the publishing to the roundtable is 781 weeks exactly, and the prime factorization of 781 is 1171, just like the 595th middle chapter of the Bible is Psalms 117. Well, it starts with 1171. The 595th middle chapter of the Bible starts with Psalms 1171. Like, they did not have any idea that this was gonna happen. It's all God, dude. Like, that's why I'm curious to know, like, I don't know, but like, dude, that's on the money right there. That is freaking insane. The book, The Bridge. Oh, like, who would have thought? Who would have thought? And so, on my birth to 1171, just like 1171 is 121 months, and when you write it properly, when you write Sirius properly with the capitals added, is 121. Okay, so that's like, it's proper like that, but because that is how you write it. Now, that's how you write it. So it's perfect. One on the, like, 121 months exactly. Like, couldn't have. So freaking perfect, dude. Alright, so, alright, my birth. Okay, so now this is when I said, like, you know, you can like see it as the start, like this verse is the start of the 595th chapter, but like in reality, it's really that Psalms 117 is the middle chapter, like fully, So just so if think about it in terms of that, just with the 117, right? So or from my birth to 117, and then the zeros don't count. So my birth to 117 is 3320 days. Like widow's son Hiram Abiff is 3320 in squares. Like squares is important. Like if you're part of this community, squares is legit. Like what the heck? Like that is so. And the next slide makes it a million times crazier. But like what the heck? Like we've been talking about this 117 and the whole thing with the bridge and how it connects to this alignment on the 33rd pentagram and Freemasonry and Jesus and everything. Like, and I'm the widow's son, and from my birth to 117 is 3320 days, and widow's son Hiram Abiff is 3320. Like I'm breaking the matrix right now. I'm breaking the matrix. I am. So I hope you're ready to I hope you're ready to come along the ride with me, because I don't think a lot of people really want to go this hard and this deep, but I'm doing it. Okay, now what's crazy is that from Obama's birth to the 21st. Okay, and Casey actually confirmed with me that I think either the Venus did move into Pegasus on the 21st, or the pentagram started on the 21st, but he confirmed that the 21st was that if you're Casey, if you're reading here or anything, you want to solidify that for me. Like I know that the 21st is significant. Like I think it may be dependent on the time or the time zone, wherever. But I mean, okay, so he was 3320 weeks. So the same, like, dude, me and freaking Obama. Why are me and Obama lining up? Like, what the heck? Like, what in the heck? You can't, dude. Look at this. Look at that. Have you seen anything like this on anywhere on YouTube? Anywhere? After everything, this whole video, and now we're lined up like this. Like, I showed you all the stuff. With him and the 595 and Sirius and like bridge and all that, and how like the 595th middle chapter of the whole Bible is Psalms 117. So that was 3320 days on 117, and he was 3320 weeks when the alignment started. Okay, but this is what's really crazy. Okay, and I don't know if I hope I know no one at my work is gonna see this, but okay, so there was, not at my location, but we got an email saying that there was an accident on the Friday. Okay, and this is something like you're probably like, you just kind of have to take my word for it. You could easily think that I made this up, which is fine. I'm telling you the truth. Like, this is legit. This actually happened, but I can't force you to believe me. But I got this email after the weekend saying that on Friday, which was this day, someone got seriously hurt. Okay, so that's what was crazy, because I showed this to Casey and I was like, so last Friday there was an assumed over pressurization incident at our, I'm not gonna say location. We currently share our test pad area. To keep it short, the employee was seriously injured, but is in stable condition. But like I'm being completely honest. I'm being super honest, and like I can't make you believe me, which is fine. But like, I wanted to still put it, But what's really interesting, I'm not gonna get too much into the wormwood stuff, but like this was really tied to wormwood because I work in for an engine, like a an engineering company, and they so this overpressurization incident right here, like something bursted, right? And then first of all, looking at the 117, the prime factorization is that 3313 code that 71 put me onto, which I can't get into it right now, but the prime factorization of 117 is 3 times 3 times 13, which is a wormwood code. You can watch some of my past videos or 7-1s, but yeah, you can see the Chernobyl, because wormwood, okay, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, Chernobyl is Ukrainian for wormwood, like in Revelation 8:11, wormwood star. So during the Chernobyl disaster, an overpressure event caused by a power surge and steam buildup led to the explosion. So like that was it was like obviously way smaller of an event, but like yeah, the overpressurization, and yeah, so I just wanted to put that there, but we're not really talking about wormwood right now. All right, another thing I got from Casey that foundationally is what I'm really saying, because like he like showed me how significant this is. We're almost done, dude. This is where it's just like I'm again, like this is gonna be where like the climax. It's just gonna confirm everything that I've shared, and it's just I'm like, I know I'm so on point. It's just, you'll see. Okay, so when you take the whole verse of the middle chapter of the Bible, okay, the ordinal value is 1597. So that is the 251st prime number and the 17th Fibonacci number. So watch this. Okay, and this is me. No one taught me to do this. I did this on my own, and I'm telling you that this is on the money. I'm telling you, like, I am on the money. And like I know that I solved this. Like I solved this whole thing with Obama and the bridge and Sirius and this alignment, and like me fulfilling that archetype just because of that Dekoders Roundtable, you know. So you take the 251 and the 17 and you put it together and you make this number here, 25117, which happens to be a prime number, the 2772nd prime number. Okay, and then we're going to turn this into this date, 2772. Now watch this. This is you've never seen anything like this, I guarantee. After the whole video that I shared, what are the freaking odds that when you go from 2772 to the Dekoders Roundtable, it's 2772 weeks exactly? They had no idea what they had no idea that they were lining the most perfect alignment up ever. Like I'm speechless with that. I found this, and that, like, if it wasn't for the way that everything went about with that round table, and like how I was like fulfilling that role of being the bridge, like none of this would have really, like, especially this, like, there would have been no round table. Or if I would have been part of it, like, I wouldn't have even been thinking about all this stuff that I'm thinking about with, like, me playing, like, the, you know, the Jesus archetype and the bridge and all that. Like, I never would have thought about any of that if I was, like, included in it. So it was, like, just perfect the way that things went about. Like, perfect. Like, let's look at that again. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like this at all. After everything I just shared with Sirius and Psalms 117, the middle chapter of the whole Bible. Okay, let's just think about this. The middle bridge chapter of the whole Bible. The ordinal value of the whole chapter is 1597, and then when it's a 251st prime, the 17th Fibonacci. So when you put the 251 and 17 together, it's the 2772nd prime, and from 2772 to the Dekoders Roundtable is 2772 weeks. When I found that, I was going insane. I was going insane, and like I would go insane like regardless, you know, like because that is just freaking perfect, and I've never seen anything like it. I've never. Getting late. I have a few more things I just want to share. I'm gonna have to make a part 2. I could write a book about just this incident with the alignment with like that's why it's so crazy, because of this alignment. And I forgot to mention too, okay, so like Venus was moved into Pegasus for 3 days. You know, like Jesus was when he was crucified, and he was like in the tomb, and he rose again in 3 days. There's so like it's just so perfect, and yeah, I could write a book. I don't know, but I have to make a part 2. I have so much stuff that I have to share still. So I guess next time we'll talk more about Cooper Flagg and how he was 6,666 days on the alignment, and Cooper Flagg was he was a huge part of AJ's contribution, like and what like the stuff that AJ is finding on Cooper Flagg is like he is onto something, and I can vouch for him that he is the pioneer of that, because like I there's no one else that's like doing what he's doing with like the flag stuff. And like the more I look into it, the more it's like, yeah, like do not sleep on what he's doing with this. But like it's just crazy, you know, that on the day that I that everything happened, you know, again when I had bridged Cody and AJ, 6,666 days after Cooper Flagg was born. And from my birth to the Roundtable, I was 33 years and 24 weeks. Like Flagg is 33 and 24. Like, how the heck can all this line up so perfectly? So I have a lot more to talk about with him. And also, so his first game with Duke was 11/4/24. So of course I was a span of 12083 days, just like how Sirius the Dog Star is 1283. Like it's just like I'm showing you that like I'm solving this shit. Like I am. There's no doubting it. There's no doubt about it. I've never seen anything like this. I haven't. Like I'm cracking the hell out of this. And we were born 5,555 days apart. Like how the pentagram is such a huge aspect of this whole thing, you know. And last slide. So I'm going to talk a lot more about this 54819 as well, because this is something that they were talking about with like the flight that went upside down. And from 4819 to the Dekoders Roundtable was exactly 311 weeks, just like Sean Ricardo de Sade, the widow's son, is 311 in ordinal. So that is it, man. Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm so tired, but I don't think that you can deny any of this. I don't think there's anything like this out anywhere. Like I don't, and I can't even imagine. Like I can't imagine how much, like if I just didn't make this video, like how much would have gone and overlooked, you know, like how much truth would still just be. I wonder that in so many situations, you know, like because as much stuff as we do find, I just wonder how much more there is that hasn't even been found. But like I know that I'm on a completely different path. like with the things that I'm finding, and like I guess like where I'm coming from, because I'm literally not even thinking about March Madness or like teams or anything like that. As you can tell, I like to decode. I'm decoding like real life stuff, you know, like just I encourage everyone else to do the same, because this is just way crazier, you know, like let you guys let it sink in, let it marinate. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this, and like I said, I think this is all God moving through us, creating these situations, and I don't know why he's choosing me to play this like archetype, and why like he used the Roundtable to like make that happen even more. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, and just keep trusting him. That's what I'm doing. And I'm. This is not confirmation bias. There's no way. This is all perfect. It's all perfect. It's just perfect. So thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you guys later. God bless. Bye.